ladies and gents, Romie Reviews here. Please like, comment, subscribe. Oh my gosh, Murder House. I just want to call this Welcome Back to Murder House. Why did I sing that? Anyway, this is American Horror Story Apocalypse, even though this storyline is just so weird. But I enjoyed this episode. I definitely enjoyed this episode. Honestly, I would have just enjoyed a partial continuation of those combined shows, kind of versus what we've been getting, to be honest. But look, take what we get for now. The episode starts off with Madison and C. That's what I'm calling him. I'll call him Mr. C. Because for some reason, pronouncing that name just isn't working for me right now. So Madison and Mr. C, essentially the Black Warlock, they're going and they're buying the murder house. They get told by the realtor that, hey, you just need to know there are 36 different murders in this house. And it's just like, oh, more things to love. And I just thought it was so funny, Mr. C having to talk in a more, I guess, more traditionally masculine voice. Because it still is so and them having babies. Is it through a surrogate? So they bought the house. I noticed that they were wearing matching outfits. I was dying. This episode was so funny. I'm so sorry. This episode was so funny to me. So funny to me. Because you have them wearing matching outfits. They go into the house and they can feel spirits. So now it's time for them to go and do some magic so that they can see the spirits. So when they do the magic to see the spirits, now they're seeing, you know, the two dead girls. They see the ugly creature that I think was one of the kids. Lord. And then we actually see, because there was a lot of things going on. We saw Tate. We saw Dylan, which, if you don't remember, Dylan was the actress Connie who played in season 1, her husband on the show, and Dylan was the therapist. So the therapist was talking to Tate, and I'm thinking, I don't know how much that's going to help, what that's going to do, but Tate definitely seemed different. He definitely seemed different, and so what we hear later on, as far as an explanation, makes sense. This episode and this season, I actually see them closing a couple of chapters, which for a show that consistently changes topics and themes each season, it's actually nice to get closure on certain things. So I think that's why this episode was really important. Now, back to the foolery. We see the return of Jessica Lange. Yeah, Jessica Lange is back. I said, oh my God. Oh, I can't take it. Oh, it's too much. It's too much. She's back as her role. She's Grandma Langdon. And we hear everyone's side, everyone's point of view, but it's not only that. We know Sarah Paulson was playing multiple characters this season, so she reprised her role as a psychic. And I said, we even saw Miss O'Hara, the housekeeper. I said, oh my God, this is too much. I can't. Yeah, so Sarah Paulson as a psychic was saying, look, there's some creatures, some spirits in here that you just don't want to mess with. We also get the back. So talking to Grandma Langdon wants the housekeeper gone. She wants Miss O'Hara gone. So Madison and Mr. C have to go and find the bones. There's a lot of bones buried in that yard. And they eventually find her bones, and Miss O'Hara, she says she wants to be reunited with her mother. And then we see that it looks like maybe she actually went to heaven, because we see her mom come back, and her mom just so happy to see her, but she has to tell her that, hey, I killed you. I killed you, and I'm so sorry, and I forever felt guilt for that. And her mother's like, honey, I know. I wanted to go. And I'm glad that they had that closure. So that was one thing. And I said, oh, that's so nice. They definitely took their time with this episode. That's why it was so long. For Grandma Langdon, because they want to know about Langdon, Michael, she tells us the story. As we know, Connie's character died giving birth. And after that, she took the baby, as in Grandma Langdon. She took the baby. She fed it, clothed it. It was so precious. She loved her grandchild. Only problem is she eventually realized her grandchild was not of this world. He slowly started to kill things. So you know what they say, people who like torture bugs and insects, they'll eventually move up to animals, eventually move up to large people. That's essentially what Langdon did. Michael did. He started with the animals, and so then she had to go and bury the animals. That's how the rose garden started, because every time she buried something, dug up the hole, she would plant a rose. I said, oh my gosh, a mess. Because while that's happening, he's slowly killing more people. He kills the babysitter. He kills the babysitter, and then one day he grew up. And he went from, I guess, being a toddler or like 2, 3, 4 years old to being, it looked like maybe 18 years old, 16 or 18 years old. And so that's when, because she said he aged 10 years or so. So that child, there's something very wrong with him. And she knew it was supernatural. She actually invited a priest. And Michael killed the priest. He killed the priest. He killed the girl. It was too much. Too much. So it was stressing her out, and she felt trapped. She felt trapped because one day he actually lost his mind, and while she was asleep, he went and tried to strangle her. She woke up. He snapped out of it. It was like, Grandma, I'm sorry. Can I have a glass of water? And she said, may I? And he was like, may I have a glass of water, while still crying? And she said, yes, you may. But that's when she knew she couldn't do anything. She couldn't do anything. So she wanted to go out on her own terms and not being killed by him, because she had to watch her words. She was afraid he was going to kill her for any reason. So that's when she went and drank herself to death. I said, what? She went and Grandma Langdon drank herself to death. That's why she's still in the house today. Oh, I was so stressed. I felt so bad. And then I said, oh, poor Michael, for 2.5 seconds. I said, but he's the Antichrist. It's a trap. Don't let the curls fool you. It's a trap. So we talked to him. We talked to Dylan. Because remember, Dylan's whole thing was that he was the tearjerker. Remember to like this video, leave a comment, and subscribe and come back. That's what he was. Dylan the tearjerker. After his wife died, he would just go cry. Well, actually, it was just this thing, period. He would cry and masturbate. Cry, touch himself. Cry, touch himself. Like clockwork. And even after he's dead, he still has to follow the same routine. And so he talks to them. And he talks to Mr. C and Madison. And tells them the story of how Michael seemed so alone. So he went, befriended Michael, and not only did he befriend Michael, he was his therapist, and they would talk, and he thought he was getting somewhere with Michael. But the house was sold. The house was sold, new people came in, Michael went, killed them, and not only killed them, he eradicated their ghost. at first I thought, oh, maybe he released him, but no, he's the Antichrist, so he's not going to be able to release anyone to heaven. He disintegrated their entire being, so they no longer existed. I said, what type of demonic mess is this? What type of demonic mess is this? To make matters even worse, he also went and killed this. Now, this is the part that was weird. I guess it was this girl who wanted to be a movie star. And so she was supposed to like represent this old Hollywood movie star. I forgot her name. All that matters is Michael. I almost thought he was trying to make her look like the Joker, because she said, you know, I want to have a permanent smile. And so he was going and carving her up. He already went and took out her intestines. I'm thinking, what is that? What is going on here? What is going on here? And that's when Dylan realized he cannot help Michael. He cannot help Michael because Michael's just on a killing spree. He's doing whatever he wants. And that killing spree officially, I think the official last straw was when Michael was trying to interact with his father, Tate Langdon. And Tate said, "You're not my son. I don't want anything to do with you. You're a devil. Go away." That rejection is what actually pushed him over the edge. I'm thinking at some point anything was going to push this kid over the edge. Speaking of Tate actually seemed pretty normal. So we're going to go to, let's see. I talked about O'Hara. I talked about Mama Langdon. I talked about, and it was so nice seeing Jessica Lange again. Oh, so good to see her again. I loved every moment of it. We talked about Dylan, tearjerker. Let's talk about Michael's mommy, who finally showed up. While Dylan was talking to the witch and warlock, Connie showed up. And I was so happy to see her. It was so good to see her. And she said, it's time for you to go and take care of your child. Because remember, she was giving birth. She still had the baby. Well, it was in death, but it still counts. So now, Dylan went to go and be with his child, and Connie told the rest of the story on how Michael fully became who he was. Now, she said Michael is not her son, and it's not Tate's son. She realized that she thinks Tate was possessed by the house, because the house is, built on the portal to hell. So she thinks Tate was possessed, and that's why Tate, and that's why she got pregnant with the Antichrist, because she just put it all out there on the line. She was saying how there was this weird group that came to go and visit Michael, and they said they saw the signs, and they knew he was the Antichrist. They're like, the devil's child is on earth and all this mess. So then he was excited because it's like, oh, people who accept me? Cool. Now, this is where we see Meade. Meade actually was a part of that group. I don't know what happened to the other two people, but Meade was a part of that group. They, bigged up Michael's ego, and that scared Connie. And what made matters worse is they actually Meade went and did what she normally does, play, oh, sweet, older woman. She picked up this girl who was at this, it looks like a bus stop, whatever. It was raining. The girl got in the car. She was glad someone was willing to take her to the place. Meade went and stabbed the girl with whatever it was to knock her out. And the girl wakes up and she's restrained because now she's going to be sacrificed. So the cult kills, listen to me, they kill this woman. They take out her heart. The man who's in charge of the cult reaches into her, takes out her heart, gives it to Michael to eat. He eats it, and now you see his shadow transition from like a human shadow to the devil. I said, oh Lord, I can't. This is too much. This is too much. And they did some chant about 10 somethings and 7 somethings. And I said, oh, what a friend we have in Jesus. But yeah, after that, Connie realized he needed to die. He needed to go. And she thought that she was going to be able to do it. Unfortunately for her, what ended up happening is she went to go, finally showed herself, tried to kill him, and he's protected. So he set the room on fire to protect himself. He went and left, and that was, I guess, the last time he was ever in the murder house. After her and Dylan put out the fire, you know, the house got resold, and now we're here. So now they have an option. What are they going to tell Cordelia? Mr. C says, I'm actually with you. I knew there was something off with the kid, but now I know for sure we literally have the devil on earth, and we need to do something about it. So they're going to go work together to try and get rid of him. They have to do something. They have to do something. So they leave. Well, actually, before they leave, I think it was supposed to be Landon's girlfriend, if I'm not mistaken. Not Landon, sorry. Tate's girlfriend. Who told Madison to have a heart? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Who told Madison to have a heart? So she goes, talks to the girl, tells the girl, hey, Tate, he's no longer the person that you're familiar with. There was some weird spirit energy that was controlling him. But I promise you, you know, as long as you show yourself to him, he'll be a different person. And so she does like a heebie-jeebie to, I guess, show that, hey, there he is. And yes, he's different. So they go, they have their happily ever after in the house. And Madison and Mr. C are going back to Cordelia to tell her. I'm still not sure what they're going to do, though, because we know that he was able to, or at least as far as we think, he pretty much killed off almost everyone else except for a couple, except for the witches. I mean, a handful of witches. But yeah, that's actually pretty much it. If there's anything else that was important that I left out, please let me know. Obviously, there was a lot of messed up stuff with, like I said, kids with their faces burnt and on fire there and all that other mess. But yeah, you know, that's it. It was nice seeing the house again. It was nice to have closure for some of the characters. Yeah. Please like, comment, subscribe. Remember to like this video, leave a comment, and subscribe and come back.